I've used to study econometrics, and I've worked in a field as a researcher and investment analyst. When at one point I thought I'm in totally the wrong subject, totally in the wrong place, earning money for my boss. And I was thinking of, I want to help people. What can I do to help people? And I went home and I lay on my bed and I was asking God, please show me what I can do to help, to what is my plan here on earth. And within a few weeks, really radically, things have changed. I have seen visions, I have seen angels, masters, and those things coming to me. But as a child, I have to say that I already had the experience of God in me. So, but you grow up and you think you need to fit in society. So you start to study, you try to find your way, earn your money and everything. Well, my life changed. I started teaching spiritual lessons because it came to me like that. It wasn't like I was studying for it. It just flowed through me and I could, and I shared it with everybody whom I met. I see in these past 10 years as being kind of an integration of all the gifts I could receive. And in those 10 years, it wasn't for me really to go outside to share really what I've learned, because I knew that I wasn't there yet, what I need to bring. And at one point, I've noticed, now is the time, because I felt this deep peace in me, which I cannot describe if you're not there, if you don't know what I mean. And it made me love everybody as they are, and it made me see that everybody is really a spark of God. So this piece made me go to like, okay, you need to share. You need to share with the world what there is. And I've seen this, I'm starting this foundation for children and world peace, and I just started it. I'm just a few months busy with it. And I saw this symposium, and I thought I need to be there. So in actually 2 or 3 days, I was writing this paper, because I thought, okay, if I'm going there, I want to present something. What I've discovered as well is actually how people work and what they're doing. And in your growth to enlightenment, what can you do if you not receive yet that spirit inside? And it brought me to pure intention. But first, I would like to say that last week I was watching Mahatma Gandhi, the movie of him. And, his message was to, free without violence. And he did that. He tried to come to the people and make them, understand fight is not the answer. So he got to the point, where he was to got England, England, I wanted to say, England out of the picture, actually, and India back to the people. But what happened afterwards is actually more interesting. He came with a message, and he showed the message. He was living the message. And after that, conflicts arise. They received freedom, and then they started to have conflicts with each other. And if humanity doesn't understand, if people don't understand what is going on, how to actually incorporate or initiate or integrate what's there for them to learn, it will only be on the surface. So it was on the surface for most people, because they didn't learn really to, what should you do with your emotions? What should you do with what's going on? So they started to make fights. They started to fight each other. Muslim and Hindu people started to fight. So this movie made me realize that he came with the message, and the people didn't really understand what the message was, because they didn't feel it. They didn't brought it to themselves. And I through my work now that I changed, I started to helping people. And I went to the people, I went down to the people. And it was hard at first to see their emotions, to see whatever is on their mind, to see what's playing with them. So just the normal people. You know, some have studied, some not, it doesn't matter. Some were even on the spiritual path, some were in depression, some were wherever. So, first I like to make clear what I see, what my vision is about God and where we actually should work on. I see God as a pure, clear light that represents the universal intelligent energy and permeates everything. This universal intelligent energy possesses a power, wisdom, and love that works only from unconditional love. Humanity is able to tap into this source of energy by acting out of compassion and growing towards unconditional love. And the process we need to learn actually is, it is a learning process for humanity to look beyond the difference on earth, which I call the illusion, and to accept each other as true brothers and sisters, so that a unity is formed in which people are responsible for each other and life on earth. This is the way to enlightenment, the way of the Messiah, the way to deep peace on earth. Seeing God like this made me responsible for my actions from the inside and made me discover a beauty that we are all part of. Peace, can be seen much more than just an agreement. It can be an embodiment, and I believe it should be embodied. Religious and political leaders have the power to change the world together, but are they willing to do everything in their effort to create peace on earth, and maybe even transform their own beliefs, even if it takes generations? So, I believe that we really need to embody it, that we have to make it something to work on from every side it can be. But the thing is, what I've discovered by writing this little paper is that what is peace actually? How do people really see peace? You see the agreement things and everything. And it made me realize that people do not understand totally what peace embodies, actually. Like even respect, the word respect. I was having this conversation at lunchtime with somebody, and I said, respect, not everybody really does understand what respect means. They use it, but they kept on going over your own boundaries. So they don't know. So I think it's really, really important that it may be clear. What do you mean, and what do you really mean by peace? What do you want to reach by it? What do you want to show? How do you want the world to be seen? What is your vision? So in order to create true peace on earth, we are to let go of our ego power, our ego force, and ego love, and act from pure intention. Only together we can create a better world. In this, we need to acknowledge that we are independent and that we are all responsible. So I use words in this, like ego and interdependent, and that's questions you can make from this, like, okay, what do I mean by ego, actually? Because there are people who are seeing ego like there is the negative ego, there is the positive ego. And for me, it is actually both. It is a self-esteem, it is a self-importance, but used in a way that there is no love, no unconditional love. You're thinking only about yourself in a selfish way. So I think if we look at as the word interdependent, that we are responsible for it. We live on this earth and we have all these many differences between ourselves, difference in skin color, countries, wealth, poverty, whatever. And you can imagine, if you would only imagine for yourself what it will do to you if God is taking away everything from you, everything. And you're sitting here in this room and we close all the doors and you don't have anything anymore. We don't have food, we don't have drinks. And we're here sitting for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. And at one point, God is putting a piece of bread in the middle. Can you even imagine maybe what you will be doing? Because that's what's going on in society. People suffering. And the question is always like, okay, I have to, every time as well, as disasters happen of things, people are giving, are willing to give. But what is it when, all this diversity is going on? People have poverty, living in poverty all the time. I've realized it actually. I was thinking of starting a foundation, not a foundation, but an orphanage in India, and I was looking for fundraisers. So if you have a lot of money, but I was looking for that, and I've realized that, that when this huge thing happened in, I think it was the Philippines or something, the huge disaster, they're donating, the whole country was donating, and which is a good thing, of course, because we need to help each other. But there is a constant thing of poverty going on in the world. And not everybody, you have to really work on it. It's like you are begging for, please, can you give some money to help maybe this little child, maybe to go to school, maybe to whatever, So I see it as our obligation that we need to help each other, that we grow to that state of consciousness. It's not about what you have, but it's about what you can share. I see, because if I talk about peace and, true peace on earth, it means for me like I'm growing to an enlightened world. And in this enlightened world, I see no boundaries, and people accept the earth as a place where we should live together in love, because we are interdependent. And if you don't see that, if you don't be in that unity, which we are all part of, conflicts will arise. And you can't avoid it. You can't just really avoid it. It's happening because it's a thing like, even though those countries have agreements between each other, like we will not fight, but in so many homes, fights are on the streets or whatever, is conflicts rising and rising. So it didn't solve the problem. It doesn't solve the problem. So this pure intention, what I'm talking about, is for me a light of God. What is your intention? If you're working from that ego point of view or not. And if you work for the purity, like I believe that God is the great creator and that he will help us, and I believe that he will take care of us, pure intention is for me the key to change the world. It's a natural state of consciousness that breaks down the barriers and obstructions, thereby creating a genuine environment of honesty and trust, ensuring only positive influences remain. A state of pure intention, we grow towards a caring and conscious society of abundance. So, I'm almost to the end.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So for me, true peace on earth can only be created if we are all working on that intention, pure intention. And when I was writing this, I was realizing, oh yes, okay, there are numerous things, which I could incorporate. And to go back to that piece of, it is a learning process for humanity to look beyond the difference on earth, the illusion, and to accept each other as brothers and sisters. It's like coming from a same nest, because if you divine brothers and sisters, we talk about it, we saw it in the movie of Ruth, it's coming from the same nest, and it's saying as well, if God would truly be seen as a supreme father, like Jesus said, and we are all his children, it would make us automatically brothers and sisters. And I see the earth as this magnificent school where we can learn the hardest lesson by stepping out of the belief in differences as we see with our eyes. It is a school where we all could graduate as one. In my belief, true peace on earth lies in the knowledge of this awareness and growing to that higher state of consciousness. So I name a few points what you could think about for achieving this true peace on earth. Actually make it the number one priority because everybody is involved. It is in giving that we will receive. And a lot of people, unfortunately, want to only take more as they actually need. And you notice the moment you start giving, your heart opens. Something is revealed. Look beyond the difference on earth and see the earth as a global community and create unity. See the earth as a school where we can only graduate as one. But I mentioned those things as a big thing, but the part we should work on, of course, is look for peace inside yourself. Go inside. Simplify your life. Don't make it difficult. And willingness, you must have the willingness to let go of old beliefs. Cooperate, not compete. Say no to competitive situations. Just walk away. You don't need to get into a fight or whatever. Innovate as a world, not as an individual. And of course, if I would sum it all up, it comes to defeat the ego in every sense possible. So in my thing of pure intention, this was the theory. I thought of, okay, what can leaders do? Because, of course, leaders as well need to work from pure intention. I think we are all agree to that. And they are responsible because they are not in a position to do nothing. They have to take responsibility for their community as well and embody this actually peace in themselves to help the community. And the most important thing is, I think, is to listen to the community. Listen what's playing in people's heart. Because if you truly want to make peace on earth, you have to start to look in your own mirror, see what's there, and you bring it to the people who are around you. And if you're a political leader or a religious leader, you should bring it actually to your people and make them see what you are maybe feeling or seeing and make them conscious of that. And this consciousness should not only be working for only the people like that, but we should really work on a program for children, that children are taught since they were small, because children carry a light in them. They are connected to God already, but parents, most of the time, unfortunately, try to bring them into the society like it is, and they lose a certain connection. But the children who are now here on this earth are light beings. They are, I learned so much from my own child, and when she's 8 now, and she was 2.5 years, she made me see one beautiful thing. I put her into bed, I was doing the dishes, and at one point I see her walking past the kitchen, going just to the living room. And I was like, okay, what is she doing? So I went up to her. I said, what are you doing? I said, I can't sleep. I thought I'd just go and sit in the living room. And I was like, okay, actually she is right, because if I can't sleep, I would go and sit in the living room. But we force a child to be in bed because of what we think is the right thing. Of course, she doesn't notice that she needs sleep. She needs more hours sleep than I do. So what I did was not putting her off to bed immediately, but I went to sit down, took her on my lap for just 2 minutes and breathe with her. And I said to her, like, okay, you can sit with me. And then I said, no, it's okay. Then I put you into bed. And she was totally satisfied and fell asleep. And it's so important, I've noticed that from my children, to just listen what they want. Not immediately say no, not immediately push the door in their face, but to just listen and give them a little peace, because they want to be heard, and they want, of course, as well as everybody, want that something is done by it. They want an answer. And it's even with political things, and I believe that politics should change as well, because it's in Holland it's only about the groups the parliament and those things, and it's not about the situation really. If I would be a political leader, I would just send everybody out to vote, not for a leader, but to vote for a situation. What is bothering you the most? And what should we work on? What can we do? So I've wrote a little bit about kind of what I think should be done is actually a constitution should become not just for peace, but for really working from this unity and pure intention. There's only one thing I do want to share with you, a little thing, because most of a few of you know that I'm a light worker, and so this is paper. There is a little exercise. It's really an mini exercise which you can do for yourself, and it's by closing your eyes, and when you breathe in and out, you can feel the presence of God. And it's for everybody, because it's there. God is there for everybody. It's not for certain people only. And that's what I do. I let people experience God in themselves. I let them experience a certain truth. And I would like to share this poem I have received. I see it as a gift from God that I've received it. I call it In the Name of. Put down your arms and raise your hands. Pray to God to unveil His true identity, and you will see that my God is no different from yours. Don't we all want a peaceful world? Should we avoid God because of pain caused in His name? No, because the illusion will always try to resist. It's up to you how you let it influence you. It's up to you to go beyond the illusion. It's up to you to create true peace on earth. Let's put our hands together now, in the name of God, to unveil His true identity and show Him that we can create true peace on earth. Thank you.